My name is Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
So today is March 20th, 2024. It is 5:12 a.m. I already did 2 recording, and I just took a break from editing a video that I've recorded several days ago. So I pop on Twitter to see what's going on, and I came across this video. It's 1 minute and 38 seconds. So I started listening to it, and I was like, you know what, let me get it out the way to share with you. So it might be just something I put by itself. Let's see here. There is a perception here in the UK that Harry and Meghan are choosing to engage more with an American audience than the UK audience. This is what hurts them. They feel jilted. Harry and Meghan move on from their hateful aisle, forgetting their misogyny caused Harry and Meghan to flee. Okay, so 1 minute and 38 seconds. Let's see.
We're also we're reporting that Harry and Meghan had their biographies on the Buckingham Palace website downgraded, made smaller, and there's a kind of perception here that Harry and Meghan.
I was just reading something on a headline, a caption from a video that I already recorded this morning about downgrade. What is downgrade to them? I don't know. These people are freaking ridiculous. But that guy, it looks like Scaramucci or something from what is it? Did he work for Trump at some point? But anyway, let me move it back slightly.
Downgraded, made smaller, and there's a perception here that Harry and Meghan, who've gone to live in California, are choosing to engage with an American audience more than a British audience. I just wondered what was the take in the US at the moment on what's happening with Harry and Meghan.
I come from a family where the motto is let's put the fun back in the word dysfunctional. So I feel bad about the situation. They're brothers. They lost their mom tragically at a very early age, and I hope they bring it back together. We don't choose our family members. I read Prince Harry's book.
Good.
I had the proclivity not to like the book because I thought it was going to be a tabloid story or somewhat sensationalist. I would encourage you to read the book. This is a real feeling young man. He's still young. He's in his early 40s. He's had quite an experience in his life, and I have a lot of compassion for him, and so I hope that the family comes back together. And so
as much I agree with him to a certain extent. I guess he's trying to be neutral or whatever. Thank God he read the book. But from what we've seen, especially me who look into some of the things that have happened, the court documents and all of this, even before the court document, I just don't see from the other brother's perspective, because he had ruined that relationship to the core. William has ruined that relationship to the core. I just don't see how Harry will be able to move forward with William the way he has tarnished the brother relationship, because some of the thing William has done was uncalled for. He went to the heart, deep to the heart, and you could see from the time Meghan was pregnant, and gave birth and all of that. We know some other thing that had happened, but let's say, for instance, the fire in Archie's room, and especially when they asked him, this is the part that I was thinking, when they asked William about, I forgot how the question was asked, but when Meghan had just given birth to Archie and asking William about his nephew, and his response was he already have one. So someone like this is something that is deep, really deep inside William, that I don't think, in my humble opinion, can be changed, because there's something within him. I don't know what people around him have told him for him to feel this deep. I don't know what it is, but his action to me feels like there's something deep inside him that really hurts him. I don't know, okay? Because a lot of the things that he did are uncalled for, especially calling Simon Case to do the writing for him, to get his brother out and all of that. And then the kingship was not meant for Harry at all. It was for William. And Harry was someone really good. Really good. Forget about the mix, how do they call it? What's the term? Multicultural kind of thing. Forget about that. But someone who's really good at doing the work, and for him to just ignore that. So William has some problem. He either, if he doesn't want the job, okay, so he just need to say it and then move on and go party all he wants, because there seem to be some men who have not grown to, you know, as time goes, you grow. You could look at Harry's past, you know, he's doing things, childish thing, even the Vegas thing and all of that. He grew. You could see his progression, and then to become a family man. So William stuck somewhere. There's something with William that's stuck, and he never grew out of it. He's doing things because they tell him to do it, because that's what they want out of him. But in terms of him thinking for himself, understand certain things, his position especially, to grow out of whatever that hurts him. Maybe it was the death of his mother. You know, from the time he heard the news that his mom died, maybe that's where he's stuck. He never got out of it. And this is why I think Harry and some other people have said he needs therapy. But then again, when they talk to him about therapy, he trash it. He laugh about it. But anyway, so yeah, I could understand him. I think it's Scaramucci or something like that. I can't believe I remember his name, Anthony Scaramucci. Yes, he did a few moments with Trump or something like that. Okay. He's not a politician, he's more into business. But anyway, so it was crossing my mind. I had to look him up to see if that's him. So yeah, he's taking the fine line. I think he's trying not to get involved into that. So I'm glad he did. The way he's responding, I'm moving it back slightly. Actually, this scene that they're showing here, that with the Netherlands, Germany, and Harry and Meghan were with the Poland team. And the team had offered Harry something, a plaque or something, to thank him for putting the game together. And then during that, and they told, I guess it was the captain, told Meghan, thank you for supporting Harry. So that was a good part here.
Our team. Thank you very much. Because the team is our strength. Thank you very much. Thank you for this what you are doing. Thank you. And you, thank you for supporting me. So come on, everybody.
Okay, I'm moving it back slightly.
Young man, he's still young. He's in his early 40s. He's had quite an experience in his life. And I have a lot of compassion for him, and so I hope that the family comes back together. And so whatever's happened, their family members, maybe they can, you know, put it all beside themselves and heal the family. I mean, these kids were bonded by that trauma that took place, you know, in the late 90s with the tragic death of their mom. So that's my feeling, you know. Yeah. Then again, I come from a dysfunctional family, and so, you know, I get it, you know.
Yes. What family is not dysfunctional?
Well, amen.
In its own way. But we now have we showed this photograph yesterday.
Oh, I would love to hear more. But anyway, let's see here. Love that he read the book and encouraged the panelists to do the same. Their faces said it all. I think they were trying to... Oops, let me pause. They were trying to get him to go in their direction. Can you imagine if the other guy was there, the one who walked off the stage, would try to direct him to his view. And he was like, look, this is my personal feeling. I read the book. Yeah, I could understand where he's coming from. I'm glad he did that. Okay, yep. Well, 1, Harry and Meghan live in America, and 2, Harry and Meghan are engaging with a global audience because their work, businesses, and charities requires them to interact with a wide expansion of countries and people, including Bitter Island. And the thing is that the UK media, they want everybody else to change, but they remain the same. I mean, don't they get the picture yet? Harry have been telling them ever since he was a young man. But until Harry decided to leave, and they remain the same.
As we're in this moment of transition, I think it's not unnatural that people are having conversations about the monarchy and the place of the monarchy. And when we think about this duty, this role that the king has taken on, what kind of king do you think he'll be?
Well, you know what you're getting, because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. You know, he is committed to his own level of service. That will remain true.
But until Harry decided to leave, and they remain the same. Right, let's see here. Why do they ask every American what they think about Harry and Meghan? That's so weird to try and triangulate every American into a family dispute. And this is what I said in the video that I recorded earlier today. I did too, because my tweet list was backed up since Sunday. I didn't record for a while, so they backed up. And one of them, I think President Obama, was at number 10. And somewhere I said I don't think he will talk about the royal family or something like that. I don't think I had put the tweet in that video, but in one tweet I had mentioned it, another discussion. And I said I don't think President Obama will get into that discussion, because even Mrs. Obama, when they had asked her about situation about Harry and Meghan, I think it was the Oprah interview, she took a fine line. She didn't want to take any side. Some people were upset about her for not choosing a side, but I could understand why they don't want to get involved in this. And then for President Obama, the video that I shared today, it was him getting out of number 10, and the tabloid or newspapers were calling him, can we talk to you? And President Obama was like, I'm tempted, you know. So he went for something. He's not the president. He doesn't want to go and talk, and then for them to bash him and then, you know, use it against President Biden. So he took the fine line and then even bothered talking to them with his swag walk. Okay, that want Harry and Meghan to beg for their forgiveness. Okay. That the fat guy was smiling so hard when he said Harry and Meghan were downgraded. He thought the men would think it was funny, but he looked quite perturbed. I was so glad he told them to read the book. Some British didn't want them, literally forced them out of work for the crown. They left. Now the same British are complaining about them successfully showing the world what they are capable of. Other British are looking at the remnant of the family and shaking our heads. I know they seek every opportunity to twist the narrative because they cannot accept that Harry and Meghan are truly loved not just in America but worldwide. Okay, this is quite literally no shit Sherlock. They don't live in the UK anymore. Alright. The island is filled with a lot of hate. Not everyone is hateful, but those who are not will never call out the haters. That's the thing too. The haters cannot stand if someone is successful. They want to always destroy someone who has got on in life, especially if they are not from an upper middle. Yep, I noticed that. Yes. Okay, they have the crown. I think in the very first time I mentioned that's the video on PYTE, I call it the firm. It has the UK flag, the Union flag, I think they call it. You have God, and then you have the firm. The firm consists of the crown and the monarch, and then below it is everyone else. And then if you go further down, it could be categorized even further. You have the classes, how do you call this thing? The peasants, okay? And then you go into colors and to different things. I'm telling you, this thing is freaking ridiculous. Okay, the haters cannot stand if someone is successful. They want to always destroy someone who has got on in life, especially if they are not from an upper, middle class or higher background. Yep. Okay, and this is why when they're saying for Harry to give for them to take the title away. They don't want to do that because that will make it possible for other people. All right, other people in the UK that has title, who have title. Okay, I bet they were shocked about that comment. Americans watch as they rip Meghan apart in that country and saying, go back to your country.
If you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
Do you really think a true American will let them say shit about another, even if we got race problems here too? At least we don't pretend. Exactly. That's the thing I've said with so many in some of my videos. I was like, we recognize our problem. Okay, and then the thing is that it's a very small group. Okay, that's making such a large noise, ruin the voice of America. The thing is that we just need to learn to, when they start saying their nonsense, we need to stand up. Okay, oops, they didn't get the response that they expected. Glad more and more people are reading Spare by Prince Harry and gaining insight into the importance of protecting one's own well-being because, alright, I thought that had become pretty clear when they stopped making commitment in the UK, and Meghan's new project clearly has America in the name. Meghan doesn't set foot in that country if she doesn't have to. Harry only goes there a few times. Okay, haven't they been telling us they don't want them back? So why are they mad they are not engaging them? Okay, I mean, Harry engage with who he needs to engage. He just doesn't make noise with it. The smirk on that guy's face saying the Sussex's bio had been downgraded on the royal side, and Scaramucci, yeah, I had to look it up. I was like, I think that's Scaramucci. And Scaramucci's reaction to the smirk was classic. Then the lady batting away the dysfunction comment like, aren't we all in our own way? Also classic. Sorry, I don't know the anchor. Alright, so the lady who spoke. Okay, I encourage you to read the book. Their stomach dropped. They're talking about reconciliation now because William, who was supposed to be their messiah, savior, isn't looking too good. Laughing my ass off. He has his own problem. He created his own problem because he can't mind his own business. Okay, well, that's obvious. Why would they bother with the UK when UK treated so badly? America have always been fair and supportive of the Sussexes. I think so too. Give it up. It's been 7 long years of you British media and gutter rags hounding Meghan and Harry. They're never coming back and it's your fault. You got exactly what you wanted, but you didn't plan on Harry leaving too, did you? Wasn't a question. It's so strange to me that royalists can gasp the reality that Harry and Meghan left. There's a whole world out there that they seem to be unaware of that is much nicer than the royal bubble. They can't seem to see outside of it. That's a very good way of putting it. Okay, after this, that's it. That's the only thing that's gonna be in the video. I think it slowly started to sink in with people that the royal family is not who they thought they were. This is what happened when you get caught with a lie, even if it's a photo. The Rangers like to play it down, but this will only get worse. I mean, the photo, the manufactured photo, have been there for a very long time. It's just that, I'm telling you, the squad, they should have freaking leave Meghan alone. Otherwise, their BS will still be playing out. But I guess this is what I said with Harry and Meghan union. It needed to lighten up people. Okay, that's what the UK needed. In the US, we did what we needed to do in 2020 election. In the UK, it's Harry and Meghan's union because they were in line with whatever the rest of the world was planning on doing. But for some reason, the people in the UK were hypnotized, were sleeping, they didn't see what was going on. But they F too much with Meghan, so it opened so many people's eyes. It was the squad. Okay? I even said vaguely, I brushed it off, I didn't go into much detail, but the squad were really analyzing and talking about it, how fake the picture was. And then a day later, and I think, what is it, AP asked KP, Associate Press asked Kensington Palace for the original. There's a video about it in one of my videos of interview that one of the AP people was talking about that. They asked Kensington Palace for a copy of the original. They never got it. And this is why they went public to say that this is altered. Okay, it's fake or something like that. So if it wasn't for the squad, I don't know, AP will still go along with it or whatever because they trusted them. Okay, but they live in a world full of lie. Just like what I said in one of the videos that I did. I think it's this channel. Okay, when I was talking about journalism, it's a world full of lies. Okay, they stay in their lies. They expect people to buy the lie, and then when people uncover the lie, they readjust and manufacture. It's in their freaking history. They do that with documents. When they're starting to figure out what they did in the past or whatever, they burn their documents so people don't see it. But when they're doing it, when they're inflicting pain, suffering, or the like, they're enjoying it. But when people start to figure out their nonsense, you know, they destroy document. They don't want people to see evidence. Okay, so if you're gonna do it with your whole chest. Oh my goodness. Wishing you a day full of excitement. Okay, that's an ad. And why weren't they? In the US, the press is either neutral or favorable. In the UK, it's rabid and hateful. Not a big mystery here. Okay, not the response they were looking for. Love this for them, LOL. I'm convinced the Brits are a dysfunctional bunch. From what I've seen, my goodness. Yeah, if you can't heal your own family, then how can you heal a nation? That's a good way of putting it. There's Harry trying to, he said it, he wants to put his mental health first. So he's focusing on that, him and Meghan. Okay, I'm just going to leave this here. What is that? Okay, paying £200,000 for a fake video to dispel the truth, gist, and lies expensive. There's this. We will see which version of Kate come out at Easter. She might have shrunk because this one looked like she was stretched a bit. Okay, so that's Dan Wooten here. Oh my God. Yep, jealousy is at the heart of this British tabloid nonsense. They know they're small potatoes when compared to the American market, and it pains them that Harry and Meghan have set their sight far outside the reach of the little isle. It must be sobering to see them succeed. Oh yeah, because they had an idea for them. They want them to either work at McDonald's or begging for money and all that. They threw the pictures out, the image, not pictures, the sketch. Okay, this push to put the family back together ignores the abuse and neglect Harry went to. Okay, that's where my whole rant went on when I was watching the video. I was like, with what William did, it's to the core. It's to the core. He did it. He hired the best, I think, from the UK who knows the law to make sure to get his brother out. This cannot be forgotten. This cannot be forgotten. Even the court, I mean, as much we would want for Harry to get his security, but the thing was written so well and systematically and step by step where the court cannot dispute it. Okay, and then Harry was fighting, and I think I don't think the reason Harry brought this to court, it was a review. It was not a lawsuit. Keep that in mind for whoever's new, who's just trying to put peace together. Okay, it was a review after they took his security away. Okay, so all of this, the Sandrian Summit and all of that, Harry knew the truth.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between. A compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
I must say that I can only imagine what you may have heard or perhaps read over the past few weeks. So, I want you to hear the truth from me, as much as I can share, not as a prince or a duke, but as Harry, the same person that many of you have watched grow up over the last 35 years, but now with a clearer perspective. The UK is my home, and a place that I love. That will never change. I've grown up feeling supported from so many of you, and I watched as you welcomed Meghan with open arms, as you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. Finally, the second son of Diana got hitched. Hooray. I also know that you've come to know me well enough over all these years to trust that the woman I chose as my wife upholds the same values as I do. And she does. And she's the same woman I fell in love with. We both do everything we can to fly the flag and carry out our roles for this country with pride. Once Meghan and I were married, we were excited, we were hopeful, and we were here to serve. For those reasons, it brings me great sadness that it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen. When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes. It has also been a privilege to meet so many of you and to feel your excitement for our son Archie, who saw snow for the first time the other day and thought it was bloody brilliant. I will always have the utmost respect for my grandmother, my Commander-in-Chief, and I am incredibly grateful to her and the rest of my family for the support they have shown Meghan and I over the last few months. I will continue to be the same man who holds his country dear and dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities and military communities that are so important to me. Together, you have given me an education about living, and this role has taught me more about what is right and just than I could ever have imagined. We are taking a leap of faith, so thank you for giving me the courage to take this next step.
Even as he was leaving the UK, he knew the truth. He gave us a hint of everything, but he did not go in full detail. And I think it was very wise of him to do that speech before he left the UK to go meet Meghan in Canada. I think that was very wise of him to do that. At least we could understand. But all the other things that follow after that, once he moved to Canada, they pulled the security away from him, and he had to rush back and find ways where Tyler Perry came in, bring him to the US and all of that. Okay, it was his brother's doing, and probably the father and all of that. Okay, so for him to have the court do the review, it was necessary, because I think Harry did not want to have a narrative battle in the tabloid with the papers. Okay, he let them spew their BS. The papers made Harry look like the villain. Okay, you hearing traitor and all of that. This is why on one of my thumbnails I point who's the real traitor is, because this is what they were calling Harry. But once we saw what was in court, this is why Harry shut his mouth and waited until everything is released in court. So that way, everyone, the well-minded people, don't go around with the tabloid headlines. Okay, go with the court document. It was through the court we learned about what was said in the Sangrium paper. And don't forget his book. Okay, where everything was already written for him to leave, and it was the doing of his brother. Okay, written by Simon Case. Okay, the backing of his brother to make Simon Case do the document for him, and then Harry, in order for people to see what was in the document. Okay, he went to court for that. And I think that was Harry's purpose for doing all of this, the review, to make people see this is to the extent his brother went to push him out. Meanwhile, the tabloid, the headline is saying Harry left, he's a traitor, he turned his back away on the on British of the people and all of that. Meanwhile, it was the brother who pushed him. They waste his time discussing for hours. Meanwhile, the document was already set.
Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
Okay, his brother William chose for Harry and said, you get the hell out of there with your wife and child. And then at the same time, I don't know. So William has some issues, deep core issues. And there were signs of William's problem since child. Nobody put a stop to it. Princess Diana was. Okay, you see some images where Princess Diana is tapping him in his butt. Okay, so that was a clue here. Princess Diana knew. And then for calling Harry, the King Harry, he'll be a better king and all of that. Princess Diana knew. So the nonsense they put in William's head, it went deep. It's very deep. I do not see where Harry will ever be in some family bond kind of thing with William. He hurt Harry deep, physically, mentally, and all of that. Now Harry has a family to deal with. He has 2 children. Okay, he needs to protect, and then he needs to stand firm. Okay, so, and William goes out of his way to hurt Harry. That's the thing here. Okay, I did say I was gonna stop, so let's see here. This push to put the family back together ignores the abuse and neglect Harry went through. That's the thing I was discussing, along with the constant stalking by the British press. He hated the press intrusion long before he met Meghan. Exactly.
It's unnecessary. You know, I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, you know, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is, you know, this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing. But the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
On top of that is what happening to Meghan. Harry is not going back. Yeah. I've always said, when they were dating, the lifestyle that Meghan was living, forget about the glamorous. I'm not talking about that. Okay, not the glamorous side of it. The humbleness. You see this superstar, because I think he used to go on the set too to watch Meghan when it was time for him to visit Meghan in Canada. Okay, so he sees the environment, the friends that Meghan had. Okay, there he is dating her. Not a word to the paparazzi, not a word ever leaked. They enjoy their life. I'm sure he was having fun along with Meghan's friends and all of that. You didn't hear a beep. So I think that environment and the love Meghan has for her mother, the way they hang out and all of that, okay, I think that sort of captivated him, knowing the fact that Meghan come from a divorced family as well. So the bond Meghan has with Miss Dovia, all of this, I think attract him, but more importantly, the friends that Meghan has, not a word. Okay, they don't sell things for a quick buck. And for perfect example, Rex Simon. They offer him $70,000 to say some BS. He said no, even though at the time he said he really needed the money, but he didn't do it. Knowing Meghan, the type of a person she is, there's no way he was gonna do that. So that speaks volume. This is the thing here. At the heat of the moment, this is where you know true core value people. I mean, people who messed up here and there in their personal life and things like that. When they put your feet on the fire to do certain things, this is where you make your quick decision. This is where the core value of people stand out. Okay, despite other things they may have done in the past, whatever, but this kind of thing speaks volume, especially for me with Rex Simon. Okay, so all of this. So yeah, I can't believe I'm 30 minutes. Okay, there wasn't really a healthy engagement in the UK. They view the Sussexes as animated object commodity. America worked with the couple while valuing their humanity, which also generate profit. Exactly. And this is the way the UK should have done it, but they didn't do it. I like, oh my God, the comments are good. William and Kate have turned into a royal disappointment. The UK press burned their bridges with Harry and Meghan for what they thought they were greener pasture. Turned out the UK press was wrong. Again, they live in that freaking bubble. The people who worked around them, okay, tell them something. They believe it. And this is the thing I cannot understand. Deep inside, both of them, individually, together, William and Kate, they know what they could do, despite what anybody tell them. But they buy into it. They thought all the thing that Harry was doing, I mean, Harry took a lot and he just shut his mouth. He was the brain in that institution. You could see Harry was the brain. But they listened to people around them. And I have an idea who was putting nonsense into their head to make them feel bigger than who they are. But when Harry and Meghan left, you see the crap that they left with. And they can't even do a speech. They can't, whatever. Okay, wait, is that Anthony Scaramucci? Why is he being asked questions about Prince Harry and Meghan? He was very pleasant, but what is the purpose of his interview? I mean, I guess there were more to it. They just showed a part where he's talking about Harry and Meghan. This is the squad focused on the Sussexes. That is a more thoughtful and nuanced answer than I would have given. Once they started saying, quote, there is a perception, end quote, I would have been very tempted to just stare at them and say, is there? Okay, the Brits do not want to see their royal family as dysfunctional, that's for sure, isn't in their language usage. She cannot put a foot wrong, a picture of perfection, etc. I mean, this is the facade that they put. What's that the other woman who's saying performance and all that? Everything have been scripted for the peasant, the people of the UK. Everything was scripted, and then at the same time they want people to believe this is the truth. I don't know why the UK haven't seen that yet. There's a facade of things. Even when you look at Charles and now William, their marriage was for the public. And they wanted the same thing for Harry. This is why Harry and Meghan did not want anything big, but they forced them to do it for the public. So and then they want Harry to live a different life and the real life behind the scene from the public, to have a mistress, to all of that. Okay, leave Meghan for the public, the picture perfect kind of thing. They accept Meghan and all of that. But Harry wasn't about this double life. Harry was like, this is my wife and that's the one I'm gonna keep. So William played the same thing as the father. Charles wanted to marry the one that he's with now during Princess Diana's time. But because of the garbage, the mess, opened her leg probably with so many other people, they didn't want that. So they wanted a version. Princess Diana fit that perfectly thing because she was the one who chose her for him. And meanwhile, and he mistreated her, and they didn't tell Princess Diana it was a fake marriage, it's for the public. I think, for me, if they had told Princess Diana just play the role, and then, you know, out of playing that role, create that Harry and William, and if Princess Diana had agreed to it, guess what? It will not be a problem because it was consent. But they lied to her. They lied to her and then do all that BS until they put her out of our society. And then the other brother follow the same thing. If you know very well that woman wants that position, why didn't you come clean to her and say, you're going to produce 2 kids for me, for the institution, and you just pretend and do this, do that. Guess what? I will still be fine with it. Why? Not that it's to my liking, because they told the person, 2 consented adult, agree to a adult deal. Okay, if she wanted to do that, push out 2 kids for the institution, and then behind the scene they do that thing, guess what? It will be just fine. But they lie. That's the part here. They lie to us and they lie to the women. That's the thing here. And now you have Harry, who they wanted him to do the same thing. Okay, you want Meghan? Fine, have Meghan, but do it for the public. And then we're gonna start bashing her, and then so you could have someone on the side. Harry was like, no, I marry her, and he left. So the institution is a facade. It's a performance. They freaking tell you that. Both your sister even tell you they want performance, entertainment. So they're creating that entertainment for the people. Meanwhile, behind the scene, you see the chaos. Okay? And then that chaos could have still stayed behind the scene if they had left Meghan alone. But now they attacked Meghan, Harry left, and now we're seeing the facade just reveal. Okay? The UK, you're living in a fantasy world. And the lie after lie after lie. Okay, I went too far. Okay, definitely Scaramucci. Let me read bottom up and that'll be it for the video. Okay, what happened to Scaramucci's head? Did he have some kind of a surgery done to his head? No, that's the way he always looked. I was not expecting that from Scaramucci, of all people. I'm telling you, he was a Trump thing. Okay, are they not seeing that? Laughing my ass off. They left. They don't do the math. Okay, I've always liked the mush. Okay, are we in the twilight zone? Why will Harry and Meghan engage with the very people who drove them away and are 24/7 continuing to smear them? That's the part here. They continue. You thought they would stop? No, it continue. Okay, lie on them, gaslit the peasant against them, disrespecting them and their kids, etc. They are vile and dangerous. Okay, the Brits do not want to see their royal family as a dysfunctional, that's for sure. It's in their language usage. Quote, she cannot put a foot wrong, a picture of perfection, etc. I think I read that already. I can't believe this. I came to do just this. It took me 30 minutes. Okay, so that's a video by itself. That's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so I probably will edit this video first before the 2 ones that I've already recorded. I don't know when I'm going to get to them. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
Lavanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.